Welcome back, everyone. We're up to game 2 here between Moonglade and liquidtyler for the Pan Pacific Championships. This is round of 16, single limb, but this is going to be a best of 3 match. So Moonglade is currently up 1-0. Oh my god. Yep, bye Mark. Idiot. um, but we are going to have close spawn positions. This is definitely going to favour Tyler.
Yeah, absolutely. Could easily pressure early on in these positions, but I think what's more likely is even though he could pressure, despite how effective that can be, it didn't really work out for him last game very much when he tried to pressure, and he could pressure a little bit earlier, or he could just try to use one of those 3-gate sentry expands that we've seen so popular recently.
Mm.
Wait
Well,
and see what he chooses to do, and
he was going for that kind of build, but I just think that there was too many Zerglings and Moonglade controlled them too well to actually really be effective.
yeah, he was really proactive about his scouting and in using those Zerglings to just make sure every time the Nexus started, he was right on top of it.
Definitely. And we do have a drone scout going out by Moonglade this time. He's going to see these close positions and probably will throw down a spawning pool in his main before the hatchery. That would be what I would be doing in this situation.
I agree. It looks like your overlay is blocking your window, according to Dell.
There we go. Fixed.
Okay, good. Just making sure that was all good because he PM'd me about that. And, okay, so that should be good now.
Alright, so...
Moonglade does decide to scout this time with a drone. Gonna get into Tyler's base and do a little bit of harassment on that pylon. And we do see that Moonglade is going pool first again. No gas this time, though.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, another thing, if he does get this gas steal off, it will really hurt Tyler's ability to do that sentry expand, because you really want to have that extra gas income. But no steal yet from Moonglade.
Yeah, he's just kind of sitting back and scouting with that drone.
He's actually blocking the cybernetics core going down now. I see him do this all the time. He just wants to delay everything that Protoss does as long as possible. And if he can keep this drone alive, he will go and steal that gas. And there it goes. I was worried that Tyler was going to steal that gas for a second with one of those probes.
Yeah, you know, Moonglade just being very proactive about blocking that cybernetics core. That's huge. Really delays the wall off. Also delays, of course, the tech. And then you can just steal that gas, and that's really going to make Tyler upset. He's going to have to send units to kill that extractor, and if he doesn't wall with the zealot at the front where the cybernetics core is, that can allow some Zerglings to get in, which is exactly what Moonglade I think is going to do here. Sending 6 Zerglings over, just hoping that Tyler will send the zealot over to the extractor.
Oh my god, and he has... He actually has... These lings are going to get into the base of Tyler really quickly. That's very frustrating. If he can actually get a good surround on this zealot, I can guarantee you that these lings will survive. Tyler doing a good job of just delaying these lings until the second zealot pops out, but there it goes. So Moonglade being forced to not engage these zealots. He cannot take these guys out without any more reinforcements, but we don't actually see any more lings in production. I think he just wants to be just harass as much as possible as he's going to go and try and get a couple of probes. But this is definitely got to be frustrating for Tyler.
Yeah, absolutely. And his 2 gateways are scouted now at this point as well. And he still hasn't gotten that second gas yet. He's got to be very frustrated. And he's got to constantly keep his zealots around. He's a little bit worried, of course, that there's going to be more lings running in because he doesn't know if there are any more coming. So that's also a little frustration point. But the Stalker should be able to help clean these up. Moonglade's going to have to take them home.
Definitely, but they have been more than paid for with that scouting ability and the delay that he has created for Tyler. Because if we look back now, he does have his expansion up, throwing down 3 spine crawlers to stop any counter aggression, which is great to see. He's actually only 15 drones to the 22 for Tyler, but he does have 6 in production, so that'll catch up very quickly. But we don't actually see any extra tech from Moonglade. It's going to be 4 spine crawlers and a spawning pool so far.
Yeah, no gas either. That's a little bit unusual. He's just going to make it right now. But I think he feels like he's going to be all he really needs to do is deal with any aggression that Tyler might try to do, which Tyler is going to start warping in some stalkers right now. I feel like he just wants to defend this aggression and then tech up, which is actually a pretty safe thing to do.
Oh, and that is the worst possible time for Moonglade to change these routings around for these spine crawlers, because they take God knows how long to actually get back underneath. And Moonglade might lose this queen here if he's not careful. Does throw it away, just barely keep it alive as these spine crawlers get rooted down again. But that's going to stop any kind of harassment from Tyler, as he does chuck down an extra 2 spine crawlers. But if we look at like here, Tyler's taking this opportunity to actually expand, which is great.
You know, I feel like when moonglade sees that Nexus, he might want to cancel those spine crawlers. He's really committing a lot to these spine crawlers. That's a lot of resources spent and also takes away from his drones. And meanwhile, Tyler is making a Stargate, though. So Tyler could try to bust down those spine crawlers with a Void Ray, which you see Protoss versus Zerg players do a lot. But he's going to have several queens as well, so it's going to be pretty difficult to do that. But really, I don't think moonglade needs that many spine crawlers when he sees the Nexus with his Overlord, so kind of an interesting choice to keep those.
Yeah, well, one
Plus one
strategy I
attacks
have
also.
seen moonglade use a couple of times is actually because of this third queen, the creep gets to the front of Tyler's base extremely quickly. I have actually seen him use these spine crawlers offensively with Hydras.
That's true, actually. I hadn't really thought of that. I've seen that. That's actually been done to me several times, but I hadn't really thought of that possibility since it's been so long since someone's done that to me. And he's repositioning them. He's got them in a really nice place. And I think moonglade is going to be definitely feeling pretty safe right now. Phoenixes are coming out, and he's getting the +1 attack for those, which makes Phoenixes very scary and very deadly. But moonglade, his lair halfway done. He's got 3 queens, and I think if he controls his queens properly, he should be able to deal with these Phoenixes no problem.
Yeah, definitely. They are very frustrating to deal with as a Zerg player, but I think with that third queen out for moonglade, he's going to have no troubles whatsoever dealing with it. The only thing he's going to have to worry about is his overlords and their position on the map. If Tyler does snipe a couple of those, it can be very frustrating, especially if it happens at the wrong time and actually supply caps moonglade. But he has thrown down a Roach Warren and 2 Evo chambers. Interesting.
Yeah, sometimes when you see your opponent going for Phoenixes, you can get a lot of Roaches, because even if Phoenixes lift Roaches, doesn't do a whole lot. And he did pick off that Overlord, so that's pretty huge.
Yeah,
very
definitely.
important Overlord to lose.
Yeah, moonglade is now actually supply captain. He's actually might lose a second one. Tyler doing a great job of controlling his queens here. And oh my god, a transfuse on the Overlord. Nicely done by moonglade. Does not want to give up anything if he doesn't have to.
Yeah, and second Stargate going down for Tyler, so he's really going to commit to this. He's also making a Void Ray, as well as the Hydralisk Den going down for moonglade right now. And he's researching the Carapace and the missile attacks upgrades right now.
We do have Roach speed as well, but Tyler doing a really good job of harassing moonglade's overlords here. I really think that he could maybe use that Void Ray on the top of the cliff here at the left of moonglade's natural to snipe a couple of these spine crawlers, because there's no way that moonglade is going to be able to get any good vision up there, because the overlords are just going to be sniped down by those Phoenixes, which could be really effective.
Absolutely. I think that's his plan, and Tyler is going to scout this hidden expansion over here at the 230 position with that Phoenix. Really important to use your Phoenixes to scout for not only little overlords like he's about to get at the 6 o'clock position, but also to check for those expansions.
We are seeing 2 Zealots being marched across the map now. Unfortunately, moonglade did not notice with that Ling, but really, if he sends those 2 Zealots over, they could really shut down that hatchery. Really good scouting by Tyler so far. We have more and more Void Rays coming out.
Yeah, once he gets those 4 Void Rays out, they do have the +1 attack, and they're going to do tons of damage to Spine Crawlers. But the Spine Crawlers are moving forward, and, you know, this might not be the best choice for moonglade right now, but he is going to get a little bit of map control with this. I'd like to see him wait for a few more Hydras before doing that. He's also getting a Spire at the same time, so it's going to be hard for him to get a lot of Hydras out, but he does have a lot of resources banked up that he could use for Hydras, if he chooses to.
Yeah, definitely. The one thing I am worried about for moonglade is he has not seen this amount of Void Rays yet. He does not have a Hydra Den. Oh no, he does have a Hydra Den. How did I miss that? So he will be able to pump out a lot of Hydras shortly. But believe it or not, last night there was an SCA tournament where this kind of play with lots of Void Rays actually took moonglade out of the tournament. So this is definitely going to be frustrating for moonglade to see. I'm not sure whether he's just going to...
he doesn't have any Hydras in production, and he's going to start losing units very quickly to these Void Rays. They are upgraded, so they're doing a ton of damage to these armored structures here. And moonglade is definitely going to lose his hatchery. He's going to try to counterattack, though, with these Roaches. And there's a lot of Stalkers and Zealots, though, to defend. There's also 2 Void Rays. And moonglade is going to lose his entire Roach army without doing much damage, losing his natural as well. He did defend that 3rd base, but he is not looking very good right now.
No, definitely
got a lot of
not.
useless Spine Crawlers.
And that Roach Warrior is actually going down at the same time as well. Moonglade pulling all his forces as best he can. He wants to try and keep these Hydras in the mix with the Roaches, so it's harder to actually target for Tyler. But here we go. So we are going to see great use of those Phoenixes picking up those those Hydralisks as they do go down, and oh my god, Moonglade might actually lose this now, as we do have only 3 Hydras left. We do have 3 more in production, but these roaches are going down into the main of Tyler as well. So, but I don't think he has the amount to deal with these 3 Void Rays in his main base.
Yeah, and he's just not going to be able to break Tyler because he's got the Void Ray defending. And even if he kills all of these Stalkers, the Void Rays are going to clean up very easily. And really, he's not going to have enough units probably at his 3rd base. The Void Rays can just go over there and take that out. But it looks like he's just going to go right into the main. He needs to be careful of these Hydras. He's just going to back off, I think. Nope, he's actually going to engage, pick up some of these Hydras and Phoenixes. Phoenix is actually doing bonus damage to light units, so when you pick up Hydras, they actually can combat them fairly well. And, you know, Moonglade's in a lot of trouble here. He has almost no units left, and he's really going to struggle to come back here, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It's just this amount of Void Rays. It's really weird to see, because this exact same thing happened to him last night by one of the SEA players, and he just did not know how to counter it. And unfortunately, that is going to be GG, so we'll tie it up 1-1. Did something like that happen on GSL recently?